Um, how do you feel about this? Let's share with you first this clip coming from an insurance company lawyer from North Texas. His firm is in Westlake. He was there in Washington, D.C., and as so many people had done, he documented his trip on social media. Here's part of it.
Dear guest, that was not fun.
All we're doing is demanding that our public officials audit the vote, audit the Dominion machines, audit the ballots. There's a way to do it. We can solve this in 2 days. If this was a legitimate election, then let us inspect it. And if Biden won, let's all go on with our lives. But you know what? I don't think that happened. And the fact that they will not let us inspect any of the ballots or the machines should tell you something. And we're all trying to get into the Capitol to stop.
This is Paul M. Davis. He's been confirmed to be an Associate General Counsel and Director of Human Resources at Goosehead Insurance in Westlake, and the insurance company tweeted out Thursday morning that Davis is no longer employed there. It's a question of employment law, perhaps, but I did speak to a couple of people who said in a state where it's right to work, like Texas, an employer can, for any reason, dismiss an employee. They also can have standards of morality that they can define for themselves and impose on their employees. And if they feel like an employee is acting out in a way outside of the workplace that is not indicative of their own brand or how they feel, they can take action. So we're seeing this kind of fallout, Yolanda, all across the country.
And I wonder if Mr. Davis at this point this morning, is he having any thoughts of regret? I mean, you know, we always talk about, even with our own jobs, how we post things on the internet. I mean, we are held accountable to a certain standard, and he should also.
I get some Facebook memories of things I posted in 2009 and 2010. Of Facebook posts, because I didn't really understand the platform or who I was reaching or what, you know, there was a lot about it in the beginning that even those of us in journalism didn't quite understand. And I see some of those posts, I'm like, probably shouldn't have framed it exactly that way. Exactly. That's a little too, I don't know, inside baseball, a little too personal, maybe a little too point of view driven. I probably shouldn't have done that. But sometimes we learn these things the hard way. There is also an interesting point to be made here about people who are self-employed. How does it affect their business if all of this plays out on social media and your friends see it or your potential customers see it or clients and they don't like what they see, or you've shared with them what your values are in their point of view and they don't want to ascribe to it. That seems to be what's happening to some degree with Jenna Ryan, who is a real estate broker in Frisco. She documented her trip to Washington, D.C. on all of her social media platforms, including this on Instagram. Take a listen.
You know why? We flew here for you. We flew here for freedom because we're sick and tired of the communist takeover.
Black Lives Matter painted road, see it?
Oh, this is that Black Lives Matter painted road. Hey.
So she continued on her way and ended up on the steps of the Capitol and posed next to a picture of a broken window and said it was one of the best days of her life. And so a lot of pushback and a lot of blowback on her social media pages this morning. I suppose maybe to her credit, she has not locked her pages down. She's allowed people openly to attack her. I don't know how else you could describe it.
Yeah.
You know, verbally attack her, or admonish her, or let them know they're not pleased with her behavior, some wishing that she never works again, never sells another house. What do you make of all of this, Yolanda, when it comes to this display and how people are responding to it?
Well, you know, that serious false sense of entitlement is the first thing that comes to mind, and that she documented it from the very beginning by taking a picture in front of the private jet here that we're looking at. You know,
she flew private from Denton. All of that was documented and landed. I mean, listen, if she can afford to or has friends who fly private, that's
true. We're not
fine.
knocking her for that. That's true. But like I said about, you know, Mr. Davis, I mean, I said at some point you want some wisdom and some discernment to kick in and just think about the domino effect this is going to have on everything in your life.
Well, I suppose that's the takeaway from this, is that when you stand up for something,
yes, be
regardless
ready.
of what it is, be ready to know that not everyone's going to be happy. And in this case, if you were to put it on a balanced scale, it's a really hard one to measure, right? Are you being praised by more people who are admonishing you? I'm not going to share my personal point of view on this one, but I will say that for every action, there are consequences. Your good deeds are hopefully rewarded, and those things that are perceived to be not so good are also prime for you to perhaps lose business. We talked about this during the campaign. Is it in a business's best interest to display publicly in their storefront windows who they're supporting for president? Or is their business better off to reach a broad base of everyone and keep that personal and quiet? It's a decision that people make every day.
That's true. And, you know, I'm sure they had no idea all of this was going to take place when they were in those small you know, steps early in the morning, leaving the hotel, getting coffee, going to the Capitol. I mean, nobody saw this coming. I mean, and it's pretty unfortunate.
We have to remember, though, once the crowd started pushing up those stairs and once the destruction happened, everybody, even in a mob, has a decision to make. Do I participate or do I back down?
Exactly.
And there were a lot of people there who participated, and this is what we're seeing this morning.